Organization Afrika Media Foundation is working with institutions of higher education to equip learners with skills that they can use when they leave school. Afrika Media Foundation trains students in videography and anything related to the creative industry. In the past week, they worked with students from Johannesburg Institute of Engineering and Technology, and Mpho Ntlatleng is with the foundation. Mpho, very good morning to you. Is it still morning? I think it's afternoon now. What is the organization all about?
Well, All Africa is a youth-owned organization, 100% youth-owned. We are just basically trying to create platforms for the creative industry, make sure that we give the young creatives skills and experience so that they are able to, after university, be able to get into the industry, be able to run their own businesses and so forth. It is basically making sure that we equip these young people.
So it's for graduates?
It's not only for graduates. I mean, we are working with kids in high school as well. We are working with those that cannot afford to even go and study further. So it's not just your graduates. Yes, we want to make sure that we can assist as many young people as possible. So we're working with high scholars, we're working with those who have a matric but cannot afford to go to university, and we're working with final year students so that we give them the necessary experience and so forth.
How did the organization come about?
Wow. I mean, it's basically me trying to get into the industry. I'm a producer, I'm a scriptwriter, and you know, after university you've passed, you've got the qualification you get, and then you realize, oh, okay, it's not as easy as what they used to say in university. And then I travel the country with the youth forum, and I realized that there's a lot of issues within the creative industry, and that's when I decided to register the NGO.
There's only so many platforms. It's even more difficult now. You're saying it was difficult before. I would imagine it's more difficult now. One TV channel has closed down. The SABC is possibly retrenching. Where are you able to find jobs for these people? And also, if you're not able to find jobs for them, are you able to create spaces where they can ply their trade?
We are looking at the international market. I was fortunate enough to go to different international film festivals and actually to liaise with all these different people. We're looking at being able to create content and take it overseas. So we're not just looking at, I think we also need to look, the youth need to look at the current situation right now. There are not a lot of jobs in the country right now. So we need to make sure that these kids are looking at creating their own jobs, you know. 5 young people getting together and saying, let's create content. The international market is hungry for South Africa. The international market wants more of us. And that's what we're looking at more, making sure that we create young entrepreneurs and so forth. Yes, when there are opportunities, we do help them get jobs and so forth.
Give us a sense of this demand for South African content that you're talking about. Who might be the potential consumers of this content?
Well, let me give an example. When I was at Discop last year, we had a guy from Lebanon saying, we're tired of seeing ourselves. We want to see Africa on our screens. How about you guys tell us about who Africa is? Everybody else tends to tell the world about who we are, and people want us to tell the real stories. He was saying to me, I want a documentary about anything, even if it means you guys playing your indigenous games. So there's a demand. I mean, right now, as we're producing content, the international market is saying, we want.
That really sounds exciting. So you're partnering with the Department of Higher Education?
With government, it's still a little bit tricky. We've partnered with the private sector. I mean, we are who we are, literally because the private sector said, we love what you're talking about. They've come on board and said, let's see what we can help you with, resources and so forth. We are liaising with government, not only higher education. We have been engaging with the Minister of Arts and Culture. We've engaged with Department of Community Safety. We've been engaging with government. So basically, yeah, we are engaging with government. We just want to make sure that the delay in government doesn't delay the process. So we are strictly right now with the private sector.
Tell us about this event that you had during the week.
It was not an event. So one of the projects that we're doing is sponsoring young musicians. So we get young musicians sending us their music, and if we see that there's a lot of potential, we sponsor the music video shoot and also assist with actually having it played on TV, because we know that there's a lot of, you'll say, your gatekeeping and so forth. So that was our first shoot on Monday. We work together with our partners and our sponsors, and one of our partners is the Johannesburg Institute of Engineering and Technology. Thank you so much. They literally came on board. They're students with them.
It's an amazing institution. It's
they
really
are.
Produced some of our artistic greats in the country.
Yeah. It is, and I mean the way they are working with us is amazing. They come in with a lot of resources that we cannot afford.
Yeah. And
they really making sure that we are able to move to the vision that we have as an organization.
So was that your initial project?
That was our initial project.
How was that for you?
Oh, it was stressful. We were running 5 hours late. So it was really stressful, but I mean, we sat back, we had a meeting, and we saw where our mistakes were, and we're fixing it. So we're ready for our second project. We're having our first workshop on Friday at Skyring Studios, which is also one of the private sector that has opened their doors to us. And then our second shoot is actually on the 24th.
And how did the actual shoot go? Is that good enough content that you can start to put out there?
Oh yes, it's amazing. I've got an amazing team. I've got an amazing team, hard workers, people that know how to produce quality. It's just that they're not given the platforms or the opportunities. So I'm actually urging everyone to say, watch out, we're actually coming for you.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
We've seen in recent days that young people actually have the opportunities to own TV channels in the country. Are you looking that way in any way?
We are looking at that way. Obviously it's very expensive, but we are engaging with Department of Communication. So we've been engaging with them to see in which way. Yes, it might not be something we'll do in the next year, but we are looking at owning our own channel. The
name of your organization, All Africa, suggests that you would like to branch beyond the borders and interact with other countries. What are the plans in that regard? So we've been speaking to a few national broadcasters in SADC. What we want to do is we want to be part of also being part of the exchange program, as well as making sure that our students are able to also go into the different countries as well. Let's have co-productions and so forth. I mean, our tagline is Africa to the world. We at one point want to be the storytellers of African stories to the rest of the world. That's what we're looking at. Tell us about yourself. What do you do now? Are you only running the foundation, or are you also actively working and plying your trade? I'm 90% running the foundation. I also serve as an arts activist for the creative industry. So if we're not literally trying to change the system, and we're not trying to make sure that, let's say for instance, the policies that we have in place right now are not changed, I'm running the organization full-time. So how can people who are watching us and hoping to be part of your work, how can they get a hold of you? They can actually try looking for us on all our social media. It's OL, Africa with a K, Media Foundation. So whether it's with Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, it's the same. Our landline is 011-036-7311. We hope to see you out there achieving amazing work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for talking to us. Mpho Ntlatleng is from All Africa Media Foundation, talking to us about their partnership with institutions of higher learning and private sector in bringing out creative graduates and bringing out their work. Let's take a break.
We are tired and we want people to take action. We want government to take action, because women are being raped, women are being killed, women are being sexually and physically abused every day. Children are going missing.
See men at the forefront of this march is what softens the heart and makes us all feel proud of the type of men that we have in our country.
Here, the rates of violence against women and children are alarming.